Creative with Melissa. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. I've got an exciting project coming up that's going to take all year. I'm once again doing the block of the month with Sylvia from You and Me FPP and Colleen from Colleen Sews and Chats. Their cards will be up here somewhere in my peripheral vision when this video goes up. But what I wanted to show you is how I get ready for, or how I'm getting ready this year to do the block of the month. Because last year I spent a whole lot of time having to recut pieces of fabric that I thought I had already cut out and hunt things down, and I thought I don't want to do that again this year. So I'm hoping that this will be something that's useful to you in your sewing room, and I'll let you know how this goes at the end of the year, but I think this is going to work out really well. So let's just get started. I'm going to turn you guys over here to my table so you can see everything I've got piled up here, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so here is my, I hope, solution for this. This is called an art bin. I hope you can read that there. And I have written 2025 block of the month on it. Now, what I'm doing is I'm going to start out, and I've already cut all of the fabrics I can cut. I have my 10.5-inch squares here, and I'm going to set them right down in my bin. I'm not going to put a pin in them. I'm not going to put a clip on them. I am going to take that little bit of excess fabric off there. So I'm putting in my background fabrics for every block so I know where that's at this year. And then I have already gone ahead and cut my sashing, which is going to be this green. I was making sure you could see it. And I've written on here sashing and corner squares. And I already picked out my corner squares too. It's going to be 2.5 by 2.5 to go with the 2.5-inch wide sashing. And the sashing, each one is the length of my blocks, which are going to be 10.5 inches. And when I cut fabric for my sashing off my bolt, I cut a really generous piece. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in this bag along with the little piece of excess fabric from the sashing that I did. And I'm going to close the bag, get as much of the air out of it as possible. And I'm going to go ahead and put that right inside my art bin. And that way I can find that fabric again if I need it. I won't accidentally use it on something else or be desperate at the end of the year going, oh my gosh, I don't have any more of this green sashing. What am I going to do? Because I've put different colors of sashing on more than one quilt over the years. And then this is all of the art ideas that I've come up with so far for our block of the month. And I'm going to set those papers right in there. That way I don't lose those papers anywhere. And I'm going to put this actually over here on this side, because when you close the bin and you lift it up, that that baggie's going to slide. So here is my 2025 block of the month kit. It's ready to go. I can find it anywhere I want, and I have a couple of extra little pieces that go with this. I just drew out for myself a little diagram, if you will, of the quilt. I'm going to take that to the front of the bin when I get back where I have tape at. It's not over here by the camera. And I also have a list that I need to print out that's in my email that tells me what the theme of each block of the month is, so that I can work ahead if I have time. So this is just my quick little way of showing you guys my version of a quilt kit. I keep hearing about these quilt kits for this quilt and that quilt and the other quilt, and I thought, you know, that's a really smart idea to have your pattern and your fabric and everything together. And I thought, well, why don't we do that for ourselves at home whenever we're starting out on new quilts. Or why don't I do that? You guys are probably all smart enough to know that. So, my brilliant, I hope. So that's my brilliant idea. Make your own quilt kit so that you have all of one quilt in one place. As I go, I may add more fabrics, and I kind of have the idea that this lovely bin is going to be where I get most of my fabrics from this year. This is, it probably weighs a good 3 pounds. It is crammed full, jam-packed in there, and I thought, you know, why don't I kill 2 birds with 1 stone and make my blocks of the month and use this as my fabric. So when I put this away, I will be stacking up my quilt kit and my scrap fabric bin together, and hopefully that will get us to where I want to be as far as this year goes. I'm going to include a little bonus footage for you. I used my shape cut ruler. I've had it for a couple of years, and a couple of my friends have been talking about their, I can't even remember the name of the company, starts with a C. I'll see if I can find it and put it in one of those little boxes up there for you. They've been talking about their rulers that cut multiple things at a time. And I thought, you know, I should really get mine out and see how well I really like it. And based on today's performance, I'm actually quite happy with this shape cut ruler. I was afraid that because I use a Martelli cutter, it would cut the ruler at the same time it was cutting the fabric. But I'm going to include some footage for you so that you can see how well it worked to cut up those 2-inch squares. And I've got arthritis, so it's really difficult for me to cut up those squares. So I want you to see just a minute or so of it, so you can see if you think something like that would work for you. Alright, I appreciate you watching. If you like this video, please feel free to give me a like, a comment, or share, or even subscribe. There's lots of fun stuff coming this year. And don't forget to check out my friends Colleen and Sylvia, who I'm doing this year's block of the month with. That'll start on the 8th, and we should have a video up every month on the 8th after that for you. Have a great day. Bye.